right, guys. So I'm just gonna let it rip. If you are watching this evening, it is not accidental. Hello, Reba. I'm gonna flash Michelle up there again. Woo! And yes, I will tell you, much of this has to do with Ukraine. So again, if any of this is gonna rub you the wrong way, I send you love and light. Okay, so for those of you who are sticking around, as you know, each week I have done a message from Spirit. I'm told, hold space, Spirit speaks. This week, the message was big. And there are times that we do not interfere with divine instruction. So, as we continue, I need you to please make note of several things in the following video. First, the following video was originally recorded live on Facebook. The link is below if you want to watch the long, unedited version of my first attempt ever at transmediumship. If you don't know what that is, that's just holding space for the divine and letting the divine speak through you physically. So, Spirit broke my website on December 30th, where the event was going to take place. I was to channel Archangel Gabriel live. And at that time, the only thing that was said to me from Spirit was, please go live on Facebook. Of course, there was something I've never done before, so it was not as easy. But as with many of us, when we have a calling, there are reasons why we go forward despite our fears. So, your face makes me happy. I love that. You being here makes me so happy. Jess, I got your text. I haven't read it yet. I love you. You just wait for tonight, girl. All right. So, what you're about to watch is going to be a total length of 8 minutes and 35 seconds. It is quick clips, a combination of quick clips from that live recording where I held space for Gabriel. So I personally edit out a ton of the ums and interruptions with my cat. And so what you're going to get is a really nice of the clips that I was told from Spirit, God, and Gabriel to share. This is going to be a week of increased awareness and potential pressure. And if many of you are thinking, well, duh, there's a war, that is the bigger message. Because on September, October, and November, in all of my live messages that have been recorded and are available, Spirit said 2022 will be the year of war. But that wasn't the biggest message. And as we go into this next video, which was recorded again December 30th, 2019, prior to all of the events that unfolded for each of us in 2020. I want you to understand that this video completed uploading at 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay, so there is that first little woo. Okay, my cousin has dual citizenship and is currently in Poland. So for the Polish side of me, I just need you guys to know that a lot of this does hit home. There is there's never reason for bloodshed. Ever, whether we are from Poland or Ukraine or Russia or America or Canada or Australia, South America, it doesn't matter because we are all from and of the same vibration, which is love. That's why so many of us are hurting right now. The spirit on a nation is so strong. Yes, guys, wait till you watch this message. All right. I need you to pay attention at 1 minute and 43 seconds of this video. That's the first marker. The second marker is pay attention to 3 minutes and 17 seconds. And then finally pay attention to 4 minutes. Get a notebook, maybe a tissue or two. And again, I'm going to remind you, this was recorded live on Facebook. The original unedited link is below. I am human. I hold space for divine messages. You are human. You hold space for divine messages different ways. This is proof that God is here. You are prepared to receive happy, joyful, really amazing messages. This may not be the video for you. I do feel each of us are going to be served a little bit because there are a lot of things that are coming with 2020, which is the year of blessings. 2018, year of transformation. Many of us pushed outside of our comfort zones. 2019, year of authenticity. Each of us gifted opportunities to align with our best, highest, most authentic self. Has this been easy? No. But those who cannot make it won't, have not, and those that are making it are watching this video at this time. Why? Because it is time you have been called to step forward to evolve a level of consciousness of humanity that is growing, evolving, pushing forward into energy unknown, untapped into, because it is time to have a complete revolutionary awakening. An awareness of this awakening, an awareness. It is time to have an awareness of this awakening. It's time to realize that each of us have received this call. No one is more and no one is less than. Each of us equally have been called to step into our light because that light is the only energy that continues to allow humanity to evolve. Evolution is life and life revolves around change. It is change. It includes change. Life is because of change. How powerful it is to be present. To be in front of each of you this evening. How beautiful it is to hold this space, this precious gift we call attention, and to be so powerfully connected to each of you. You cannot walk away from your power at this time. This is a time of great deliverance. This is a time of great becoming. This is a time that so many of us have rejoiced and rejoiced and rejoiced in for centuries upon centuries of unfolding, and it is a time that each of you have planned to come forth. It is a time of divine alignment. Beyond alignment, it is a time of complete supreme being, of nothing more than clear being. It is a time where you came forth to press forward through the flames that have so burnt so many illusions. It is time to go through the debris. It is time. I am here to remind you in the golden light that I bring forth, in the trumpet that I do not fear to hide. It is time that you step forward into your light, because this debris has given birth to each of you in a way that you have asked for, in a way that only you can have experienced in human form. It is time where the divine creator steps through in the expression of you, and it is time that you no longer hide behind that which you call fear. You are the energy. You are the hope. And the being of all, of life everlasting, flows through only vessels of hope. My job is to come forth to always remind those that are the candle holders, the candle bearers of hope, to do their alignment, to do their powerful reckoning, your powerful unfolding, your powerful becoming. The questions you are asking are no more than the powerful levels where you are going beyond where you've been before. Question them. Children of the light, question them. Keep questioning them. As you question, you desire and summon the highest of us, and we are able to come forward like liquid gold flowing in through your veins. Do you understand? One vein connected. God is you. God is looking through your eyes at this moment. God is your breath. God is your children. God is your inspiration. God is your heartbeat. You are the reason there is life. And I come forward with my ability to remind you so clearly. Your light is needed now. Your light is needed now, for there is dark energy. It is only fear that is it. It is the fear of your power. It is the fear of losing your control. You don't understand, dear ones. You cannot lose control when you are connected to the divine, and you are no more than the shiny ones. Truth sometimes stands in the corner, and sometimes the truth will mock us, sometimes the truth will call us. And when it calls us, we will turn and we will look at the truth, and in that moment, every shred of fear will show up to remind us that the truth is not ours, that we must look away. Your truth, your happiness, the very things that you ask each of us for at night, each of you we hear so clearly. Each of you, there are tears. Some of you do not cry. There are questions. Some of you are so afraid to even question. Do you understand that we can go to the depth of your fears? Do you understand that is what we battle every day? Fear does not scare. Flow. That is love. Because fear is not directly a flow of love. Fear is a catalyst that creates vulnerability, and there is nothing more fragile and more perfect of the human being than your vulnerability. Your vulnerability is the beginning of all that you came here to be. Each of you have grown beyond so much that you have no comprehension that you have already grown past. You are jumping from fear, but you are letting it go. It is a celebratory process. Give time and space to your soul. Give yourself the allowance to receive and embrace all that you have grown from, all that has grown you. And arrive at this space of truth, hope, and love, knowing that you are as clear and as clean and as perfect as you are. Well, I saw a lot of people jump on, jump off, jump on, jump off. And I'm not concerned. It is understandable. I know you were saying, one of you were saying that, Michelle, you had to work. That's not exactly what I am trying to focus on. There's my Mary Lynn. I miss you. Please, if there's anything that I could do in this lifetime that I am given for however many breaths, it is that I wish for all of the most curious parts of you to go back and watch that video again. One, I can't make this stuff up because it's unethical. You know, that darn law of attraction thing, it's a real thing. Two, I've worked real hard on whatever this karma thing is called, and I believe in what you give is what you get. And as with many of you, I'm tired of struggling and suffering. So if I can cut out areas where I can prevent extra struggling and suffering, I'm going to do it. And so that means being as authentic and as true with each of you as I can be. And if you go back and watch that video with that known, then everything in that moment that was experienced was through me, not from me. And there are times this year, 2022, where Spirit has said so often, please move beyond the shock and awe. Move beyond the shock and awe. And we must ask ourselves, are we more afraid to move beyond the shock and awe, or are we more afraid that we can't handle it? Is the shock and awe and our shock of it so much easier and so much habitual that that is where we remain? And I need to remind you that we are evolving. Like it or not, we are evolving. I mean, please look at just the chain of events that has taken place, have taken place, chain that has taken place over the last 2 years. Are we so removed from the present moment that we have failed to take note of how far we've come? Have we gotten so caught up in the human experience that we have forgotten not only why we're here, but we have forgotten to step into our our power? I find so many of us searching for our power. We spend lifetimes searching. Spirit says, get out of that shock and awe and then now step into your power. Well, I don't know how to do it. Listen to the gifts that are divinely guided to you. It cannot be more simple than that. And that was at 20 minutes and 20 seconds of this recording. Again, divine signs are proof that you are being heard. 2, coincidences aren't accidental. Spirit came up with the word because it's the only way to get our human attention. Number 3, this video is called Peace Talks. Peace Talk. Why? Why do you think? Just as I was just thinking 2 years, so much has changed. Please, I'm 44, 77 born, right? So you're looking at child of the 80s. What were the biggest focuses in the 80s? Not only was it the awareness or arrival of AIDS, but we were totally into the fight of Cabbage Patch Kids. If you're not of the 80s, then you missed out on that. Please look at what our children are fighting with and for today. April's a downer. If me being a downer is exactly what starts to sprout your seeds, then let me be a downer. You know, I mean, this is really coming together. And I want you to know, just like with you, what is my purpose? Well, I don't know that. Our purpose is the present moment to figure it out. And anytime that we seek our purpose in our losses, in our failures, in our shocks, in our awes, we technically are spinning our divine wheels. So I push forward, whether I like it or not. Uh, I would say, unfortunately, has it has become my way of income. And I say unfortunately because somehow there are some of us that do not know how to marry the spiritual and the human being. And I think that is just me being vulnerable with you in my area of evolution. But each of us have an area where we are growing, an area where we have never been before, an area that's uncertain and uncomfortable. And please understand, if you go back to all of my videos just from January 1st, 2022, every week Spirit has been present with guiding, instruction, support, proof that Spirit is here. I can't do any other thing than that. I can't do any other thing than hold space for Spirit. I have tried. I've tried and I have heard all of the recommendations. Did you try doing this? When you start to answer your call, when you ask to be the instrument of your peace, it will be given. And holding space for the divine has never been more rewarding in my life. Each of us hold space for the divine in different ways. And this year, the year of war, we're either going to be stepping into our truth, our power, not questioning it, because we realize that questioning it is just stopping. It's delaying the inevitable. You are of love. You are love. You are humanly being expressed during a space and time of extreme transformation. This is not the year of war because Russia has flipped. I'm going to reword that because Russia's president, not Russians, not all Russians. My heart is breaking for the Russians that have to be arrested because they do not agree with what their leader is doing. When a woman says, I live here, this is my home, and I don't want this on my conscience, I don't agree with this, we are always one breath away from a very different reality. Peace talks must begin within each of us. Many of us were glued to the news. Many of us joke that we won't watch the news. Many of us refuse to watch the news. It doesn't matter. There were peace talks that were not peace filled. Because in the beginning of this year, Spirit said the only reason that this year will be the year of wars because each of you have been at war within yourselves for eons. Eons. Whew, that's really true. Don't you think it is time to end that war? I mean, isn't it time that we allow ourselves to feel the ease and the peace that we're trying to manifest? Isn't it time that we give compassion to the human being that is evolving, even though, okay, even though we aren't sure in the present moment where that evolutionary experience is going to take us? Peace talks are about being in that present moment and realizing that the way you speak to yourself is or is not ethical. And what is ethical is what is true for you. Is putting pressure on the self true for you? all the time. Is guilt true for you? Is self sabotage true for you? Is self denial, blame, shame? Is victimhood true for you? Victimhood sucks, but it's not true for us. And if you're watching this at this divine moment of divine order, then for whatever divine reason, your soul asked my soul to come forward at this cross space of awareness and remind you to wake up and remember we did not come here to live in suffering. We came here knowing that we came here to rise above that we are capable of that because we are not of suffering. We might have been born into environments that were of suffrage. We might have been taught how to suffer with our reality that we cannot control. But you are not here at this moment of awareness because you are a sufferer. And I know that, and so do you. So I have been MIA for a bit. There's my gorgeous Judy. I have been MIA. I have been wrestling the gator of COVID. And I'm proud and happy to say that I made it through. You know, so many of us have grown so much that we aren't even aware that we are joking that it's nothing more than a cold at this point. Because this time last year, those with COVID were dying drastically, and we did not know what was about to unfold. Little did we even know what was going to happen this year. So be in your present moment and ask yourself, how do I allow myself to speak to myself peace filled? How do I even begin? How do I even begin? How do I begin to be any other way than I have been? Well, guys, welcome to your great awakening. You are an evolving being. Your beingness is the part of you that doesn't stop. So when we get scared, our beingness halts. We feel stuck. That flow isn't flowing, and we don't feel good because we're not being. And it doesn't mean that beingness is great. There are times where we're going to have to be patient while we process some really crappy moments. Not everybody is aware, and not everybody that's aware is willing to be in the present moment of uncertainty without dipping and dodging the moment. We do this. We, each of us, will dodge the present moment of truth and change because we are scared, and it's okay to admit that. And we do that by staying busy, becoming distracted. And that's fair. That's fair. However, as selfish as it is to stay focused on our lot in life, humanly, we have many generations just underneath us, below us, behind us that are watching us handle chaos, conflict, and change. And I mean that so much more home based than you realize. How are you handling chaos, conflict, and change right now? How are you handling other people going through chaos, conflict, and change? Are you allowing yourselves to become engaged in this battle within, aware that there is a battle at all? What is she talking about? Oh my God, she's being so dark. I'm not being so dark. Goodness, that's the biggest distraction of all, to be afraid of what it is. Ooh, take that shock and awe out. Then all of a sudden, awareness, truth, and power is all we're focused on. Low vibes can't affect us. It is a simple formula. Try, attempt, be willing to seek better vibes. That's it. Not taught simple. We're not technically grown. We're not like little seeds that are given the air to breathe. Many of us are like born in cages of thoughts and behaviors. So many of you are coming to this point of crystals and oh my goodness and spirit guides, and I welcome you. I welcome you. And I warn you, buckle up because you are arriving at a time of a year where spirit says if you stay focused out here where all of us are, you darn black sheep, you've been outside this whole time. Stop trying to fit in. Stop it. Stay on the outside because that's where I can reach you most. And you listen to all that is of and for your truth. You will find this year is the year of truth and clarity and miracles. Despite the damage and debris around us, there is a reality that is within us that can only reflect where it is we choose to focus. And I cannot stress enough that by you focusing on all of the things that are here to bless you, you are being of more support and of more help with this entire shift than you even imagine. Focusing on your passion, claiming your right to be happy, realizing don't ask for the abundance that is yours, ask for the willingness. I ask for the willingness to be abundant, to receive, to receive the abundance that is there for everyone. It's just one little flow, unlimited. I'm willing, and allow me to expand and build on that abundance, share that abundance. You know, we always ask for something, but what about what happens when we get it? Please look at all of the things in your room right now where you are, your car, your room. By the way, if you're watching this, this video is infused with a lot of healing energy. So wherever you are hearing this, you are literally in divine healing, crystalline Archangel Raphael healing energy. So if you feel a little tingly or a little shifted after this, receive the answer to some of your questions. Okay, I'm going to call it 7:32 Central Time. I want to thank you for being a part of this evening's timely message. I do need you to know that these recorded videos are recorded for a reason. You know, as Spirit is speaking right now, this situation in Ukraine is not going to end soon, and it is not going to end well. And this is that moment where I remind people that I do this by choice, and I do this because of love. And there are many of us that only know how to battle. And I pray for Ukraine, and I pray for any of us that are having to defend our home and our families, even in the cities where you are, to defend your lifestyles or your choices or your desires. I mean, I had to have a conversation with my daughter today that, you know, college isn't truth filled for everyone. I am not against education by far. But there are those little light beings on this planet that are going in a different direction. And when we put our fears on them, we add pressure on them and we teach them how to stop and entertain fear first. Again, catch yourself being insane in the men brain. It is quite entertaining. And then you just bring a little compassion because this is where you're changing. We don't have to keep doing it the way it's always been done. In fact, we can't. We could pretend that our world isn't frying, but it is. We now have really big messages of extreme damage of our globe, where are you going to go? Where are you going? Where are we going? We can only go so far, so fast, and we're running out of land. And it is saddened that there is a population that has been abundantly financially blessed that they have options. But the truth is, when we stand in our love and our light, every breath has options. God is present. God is true. God is a vibration of hope, a reminder of delivery, a reminder that there is nothing but balance, that there is nothing but truth in all that brings you to this balance. And whatever that is, that brings us to our awareness of balance is calling itself God. And yet, so many of us have such a problem calling any energy that writes us up, right side up, God. People hear me say God and they turn me off. That she's getting Jesus again. Okay, but I'm not blowing people up. And I'm not stealing boxes and boxes of really important documents. I'm not hiding emails. I'm not making deliberate decisions that are going to hurt my family or hurt anyone. All of us at this time that are wrapped up in what is called politics has to remember to do what is true for you. And what is true, the only thing that is true is love. It's the reason we get married. It's the reason we get divorced. It's the reason we have babies and keep them. As much as many of us think that this is mundane, the only reason we're here is because of love. And when we ease into that awareness and stop fighting, what is it politically we're fighting for? Right now, the term politics is not what the definition says in the dictionary. Politics right now is not of love. It is of pointing the finger and of separation. And that is never of love. And if we are foolish enough to believe that standing in any position of battle against another is of love, then that is where we stand. And those of us that do not stand there can choose to move elsewhere. We have to allow each other to go where we're going. Just because we may believe in guilt for ourselves does not mean that it is okay for others. Okay, as much as I want to keep holding space for spirit, I has to stop. All right, guys, this is a very long message for this first week of March. I will ask you, please, to support my work. You don't realize at this time how much you're sharing, you're subscribing, joining my Patreon is allowing me to support you at this time of great awakening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and jingle that bell. You know I like my bells jingle. Ooh, ooh. So I wonder how long I was unmute again. Don't you just love how I do that? All right. If some of you were able to hear that, I guess Kimberly just said love you. I guess you're chiming in hearing me now. Okay, April, I agree. We are holding space for you. We're all, okay. So I guess everybody can hear me. Maybe I just hit the mute button. But I'm drinking coffee tonight. I know people are like, it's 7:39. To those of you who have subscribed, to those of you who have hung in there with me through these 12 years of constantly figuring my passion and my ability to be of service out. It isn't easy. People say, is it just, it's a lot of hard no's. It's a lot of revelation of self. It's a lot of willingness to be vulnerable. It's a lot of willingness to be angry. It's a lot of willingness to be faith filled when you don't want to. I'd rather you explore your passions and be in a moment of fear because you chose faith instead of in a moment of passion and be in a place of fear because you don't know what you believe in. I may not know what the hell I'm doing on a business end of all this, but I do know what I believe in. And if you watch that video from Gabriel, how can you not believe in the presence that showed up prior to a year of a pandemic, a year where we had fires and earthquakes and volcano eruptions at a rate that was unprecedented, floods and snowing in places that were unprecedented, record-breaking temperatures? Do not close yourself off to one of the greatest lifetimes that you ever chose to step into. All right, guys, and if you hang in with me, I can't step out. I feel like I'm locked into the adventure. All right, I love you. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.